Have you ever wondered what truly binds individuals to the laws and authority of their government, especially when they have never explicitly agreed to anything? This profound question lies at the heart of political philosophy, exploring how our actions, or inactions, might imply our agreement to live under certain rules. The main criticisms of tacit consent revolve around its claims that mere residence or acceptance of benefits constitutes a voluntary agreement to obey the state. Critics argue this form of implied consent is often not truly voluntary, lacks clear expression, and fails to establish a genuine moral obligation to obey the law for all citizens. At its core, the philosophical why behind these criticisms centers on the concept of voluntariness and genuine choice. Tacit consent, as proposed by thinkers like John Locke, suggests that by simply living within a state's borders or enjoying its protections, individuals implicitly agree to its authority. However, critics counter that for many, leaving a country is not a real option due to economic hardship, family ties, or lack of alternative places to go. Therefore, staying cannot be construed as a free and meaningful expression of consent. Silence or inaction, they argue, does not always signify agreement, especially when meaningful dissent carries significant risks or is practically impossible. To understand these arguments, consider the conditions under which an action or inaction can genuinely representing consent. Philosophers often point to the need for a clear choice, awareness of the implications of that choice, and the availability of reasonable alternatives. When these conditions are absent, the legitimacy of claiming tacit consent diminishes significantly. For example, a person might enjoy public services without truly feeling they have agreed to the government's entire legitimacy, particularly if they were born into the system and had no say in its formation. One particularly sharp critique highlights what is known as the no reasonable alternative problem. This concept challenges the notion that simply not emigrating amounts to consent. For millions, the cost of moving, the lack of a destination country, or the severance of social networks make emigration an unfeasible, not just undesirable choice. When the alternative to tacit consent is severe hardship or exile, the choice to stay is not truly free, undermining the moral weight of the consent claimed. Ultimately, the extensive critique of tacit consent teaches us that genuine political obligation requires more than just passive acceptance or residence. It compels us to consider the real-world conditions under which individuals live and to strive for forms of political legitimacy that are grounded in more explicit, voluntary, and inclusive forms of agreement, ensuring a more robust and ethically sound foundation for governmental authority.